Alright, guys, welcome along to Hellmouth Hotline. I am your host, Rodney Stewart. This is the night we do Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so we're into season 5, episode 5, No Place Like Home. And we finally get to see a little bit of what's going on with the whole Dawn situation. It begins 2 months previous to where we're currently at, and there's 3 monks. They're rushing to this abbey, whatever it is they're in, and there's something after them. Some force is after them. It's trying to beat the door down, and they start this ritual to send this thing to be safe somewhere else. Essentially, turns out it's Dawn. It's the key, they call it. So they make it human. They put it into, like, skipping ahead, you don't get the explanation too later in the episode, but essentially this key is very important. They're trying to keep it away, so they send it somewhere that's going to be safe. So it becomes human. They build memories for everybody around its life, so it's Buffy and her friends and all that sort of stuff. And yes, we cut back to normal time 2 months later, and Buffy, she's out on patrol, staking vampires as usual, outside an abandoned building. The night watchman catches her but thinks that she's looking for a rave in the building. Buffy turns to leave. The man tells her not to forget her glow ball, this orb that's sitting on the ground. Buffy doesn't recognise what it is, but she takes it anyway. The next morning, she's making breakfast for her mother. Her mother's not well, of course, so Buffy is looking to, treat her mother and whatnot. Dawn, being the annoying little sister, ends up taking credit for making the breakfast, telling Joyce that Buffy only helped. Joyce and Dawn, they bond over their book club and their pet names, which leaves Buffy feeling like an outsider. Buffy takes Dawn with her to allow her mother to relax as she's heading to her next appointment with the hospital. Over at the magic box, the shop that Giles has bought, he's had no clients all morning. It's not kicking off the way he would have hoped it would have kicked off, so he's a bit down in the dumps over that there. Buffy presents the orb that she found the previous night, gives it to Giles, who can't explain it right away. Dawn reveals to Riley that Buffy doesn't want him to patrol because he's weaker now. Willow advises Buffy to go easy on her younger sister. This is the thing that's getting to Buffy, is, some stuff that, you would think if you heard your friends or your family talking about something, you would keep it to yourself. You wouldn't tell the person. She probably overheard Buffy's concerns about Riley not being the super soldier, the Captain America of the Buffy universe anymore, and wanting to keep him safe. So, of course, Dawn just blurts it out to him. So Willow realises this, and Buffy, take it easy on your younger sister. It is what it is, sort of thing. While picking up a prescription for her mother at the hospital, Buffy encounters the night watchman from the previous night. He's been strapped down to a gurney. He's agitated and unstable. He's gone crazy the previous night. Completely sane, but right now, absolute nut job. And yes, he's been wheeled away, but he manages to warn Buffy that she will be attacked for her family. We cut over to this monk. He's working on the blueprint in an empty building. Just as the beast smashes through a large steel door, and the beast that was haunting them 2 months previous turns out to be a blonde woman in a red dress, and the beast tries to torture him for information about the key, but he won't tell her anything. She starts to talk rapidly until she puts her fingers into his head and seems to suck energy from his mind. Back over with the Scoobies, they're helping Giles as the magic box is now overwhelmed with customers. It's kicked off in a major way to the point where Giles is getting stressed out about people even touching things and whatnot. And yeah, just he's hoping that it'll be a success now. It's looking like it's going to be a success. He's like, oh my god, what am I going to do? Sort of thing. Buffy assumes that the danger she was warned about is what's causing her mother's headaches. Anya recommends to Buffy that she should perform a ritual. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name of it. Terrer la couverture. It reveals any spells that might be affecting her family. Buffy offers to let Riley help her with the spell, but he realises she's trying to compensate him for not having the same strength as before. They talk about it for a bit and agree to take care of each other. So Buffy performs the ritual in her bedroom, and then she's walking about the house to look for anything unusual. She runs into Joyce and finds nothing strange about her. And she was thinking there's this spell on her mother that's causing her sickness, but whenever she sees her, everything looks normal. Like the spell is supposed to show you where the magic is at and what's going on, sort of a thing. So this proves that the headaches are not been caused by supernatural means. However, Buffy does notice Dawn's image flashing in and out of photographs and pictures around the house. When she enters Dawn's room, Buffy sees her sister's possessions fading in and out of existence, as well as Dawn herself. Buffy confronts Dawn about it, and she concludes that Dawn isn't her sister. Buffy pushes and threatens Dawn, telling her to stay away from her mother. Dawn appears confused, and Buffy's sudden change in attitude. Giles calls to tell Buffy the orb is called the Dagon Sphere, and it's a protective device to ward off an unnamed evil. And he tells Buffy that things that are unnamed are usually deeply worshipped or feared. Buffy then encounters Spike. He's lurking outside her house, and it's this famous scene that's doing the rounds online right now, where you've got 5 words to explain what you're doing here. And Spike, he's like, out for a walk, bitch. Classic clip from the series. So she lets him off the hook with a warning. Don't be about my house. You're going to go for a walk and you do it somewhere else, sort of thing. He disappears and he becomes frustrated. Buffy looks down and she notices a bunch of Spike's discarded cigarette butts. And obviously he wasn't out for a walk. He's been hanging about the house, but she just sort of like lets that go for what it is. We see Dawn watching from her bedroom window. Over at the abandoned building, Buffy comes up against the beast. She goes to this building because of the security man, and she comes up against the beast. That's this blonde girl whose name is Glory, played by Claire Kramer, and she has her attitude is the like Cordelia on speed sort of a thing. She's got that annoying sort of teenager vibe thing going, and it is incredibly annoying. And this, whatever she is at this point, hasn't been. She's just referred to as the Beast by these monks. She's just she's a big child essentially. In this episode, maybe an eternal demon of some sort, but she's in human form. She's like again, Cordelia hopped up on drugs, sort of a thing, and just a spoiled child in the way that she gets on. She quickly proves to be far too powerful for the Slayer to handle, and after taking a beating, Buffy jumps through the window. With the tortured monk, she saves him from her. the beast, Glory, then throws a tantrum and she's literally stomping her feet, and this causes the roof to collapse in on her, which means she can't pursue Buffy. Um, yeah, over at the magic box, now closed, Giles, Willow and Xander try to rest as Anya gives many suggestions on how to run the store, and to shut her up, Giles offers her a job working at the store. Yeah, but disjointed, this review. Back over at the abandoned building where Glory has trapped herself under the fallen ceiling of the building. The monk at death's door warns Buffy that she must protect the key, and he tells her that the key is energy, but his order put it into human form and sent it to the Slayer in the form of a sister, being Dawn. Buffy's confused as she, Joyce, and her friends have memories of Dawn's whole life, but the monk explains that they also built everyone's memories, and before he dies he tells Buffy that Dawn is completely innocent and she's unaware of her true origins and believes she's human, and he simply says she doesn't know. And the guy that plays the monk here, and I was looking it up on the internet here to see if we get names for them, so just you've got a couple of monks listed here. Old monk wouldn't be him, young monk not him, so I'm assuming that the monk here is Ravel Ishyanov. Probably destroyed that surname, Ishyanov. He played that part fantastically in this episode with his explanation at the end as he's dying and what's going on here. What Dawn is, you get most of it. Like she's a key, originally energy, what the key's used for, opening portals, whatever it may be. I think that's what they said in the episode, or is that later? I've watched on a few episodes at this point, but I can't recall which episode that came out on. But yeah, this key had to be protected, so they made it into human form, give everybody memories to keep her safe. So now Buffy has the truth now that Dawn indeed is not her sister, and everything that people remember is memories that are not their own. Reality has been changed to protect this key, so she has this, she's only one with this knowledge, and can she tell people? I don't know. And yeah, she now knows that she has to protect this young girl now who's got no idea of what her true origin is and believes she's human. So Buffy returns home to find Dawn and Joyce watching TV. Dawn's still been upset about what happened earlier on in the episode. She goes to her bedroom and Buffy follows her up to apologise. They've got a little moment at the end of the episode where Buffy is playing with Dawn's hair, and Dawn eventually asks what's wrong with her mother, and Buffy says that she doesn't know, and we cut the end of the episode there. So it's even though she knows this is not her sister, they do have that moment where this young girl is heartbroken and devastated that something's wrong with her mother, and Buffy can't help but have the same feelings and have that connection with her because of that. So nice, tasty little episode, and one of those ones where you started off and you're thinking to yourself, okay, this might be one of those episodes where I could kind of skip forward. It doesn't seem like there's going to be anything here that's going to be part of the main storyline, but bait and switch, that does give out a heck of a lot to what's going on in this series. And everybody that was watching the series back in the day, whenever it first started off, and they're like, who the heck is this little annoying sister? And why does everybody seem to remember? Episode 5 of season 5 lets you know what the score is. And yes, interesting stuff. But the villain in the shape of Glory, I can't recall. I honestly can't recall. There's a connection. If memory serves, it's been at this point. It's been quite a few years since I've watched this series, and I think, in all honesty, like the highlight for Buffy for me was the first two seasons, and I kind of dropped out slightly in the original run after the second season, but halfway through the third season, just because of where I was at in life. I was getting married and that sort of stuff, building the life, doing all that sort of stuff. Didn't leave much time to watch shows as much as I would have liked to, but there is a connection between Glory and the wee guy that was working in the hospital in this season. But as a main villain, I can't recall much of Glory. And Ben, is it you call I'm just looking through the guest stars of the episode. Yeah, Ben and Glory. There's some sort of connection between the two. So even though I have a podcast here, I was talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I cannot recall the majority of this series. And in all fairness, I'm not gonna lie, it's I don't want to speak ill of the dead or anything, but Michelle Trachtenberg as Dawn in the series, she plays that annoying sister role far too well at times, and it really did. A lot of us guys jumped out of the series simply because of that character in the first few episodes. But it is what it is. We'll see how things go as we go ahead. I'm doing the podcast now, so I'll have to watch it. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Whatever you're doing, stay safe. Check out the website, coinsagemedia.com, for absolutely everything else I'm doing. And until the next episode, stay safe, and I will talk to you all then. This has been a production of Coins Age Media. Thank you so much for listening.